Hello, good evening, folks. Welcome to Earworms. Tonight we have a very special guest with us, our dear friend, frequently in the chat, Swappers, sometimes World of Swap Shop, sometimes just Swap Shop, sometimes Star Wars Retold, sometimes, if you go back far enough, Demon Scythe Synthwave. But in all the iterations of Swap Shop, he's a very creative and also very friendly and a great guy all around. Tonight we're going to be talking about Chapter 11 of his Praxeum of the Pathfinders, which is a Star Wars story that is being made into an audio drama. Complete surround experience, music, sound effects, dialogue, all done very well and all very enjoyable because, important thing, it's based on a very good story. Basically, it picks up where The Force Awakens left off and replaces The Last Jedi and goes forward. Kind of from where things left off, and then gradually as we're going on we are shifting away from that plot into Swapper's imagination, which is loyal to the lore and the canon at the same time. Has a lot of great new things in it. So I'm going to stop talking and start bringing on some of my colleagues here. First, as usual, shall be this lady. Let me find her down here. Is this you? No. Which one's you? Did you change your avatar? Who are you here? Oh, no, you're not. I was looking for Yoda, but right now you are Liza Delenn.
No, I'm not. I'm Yoda.
That's what we're seeing on screen is Liza Delenn.
on Evie Mux, I am looking at Yodita.
That is a common thing. A lot of times, nobody here is quite what he appears. It's exactly as he appears.
Let me try to change it. Maybe if I import the image again, it'll change it on YouTube.
Well, it's not YouTube, it's EVMux. Yeah. But anyway, let's move on because having you here is good enough. We don't need to have the right avatar. An archer by any other name doth smell just as sweet.
He's just as deadly.
Yes.
He wasn't expecting that. Welcome, Archer Colin.
Well, the alternative would have been, it depends what he's been dipping his arrows in.
That would be true, yes. And last but not least, this evening we do have our esteemed colleague from the, well, I probably shouldn't say that because I just realized that could be misconstrued. I was going to say the furry family, but
one rabbit suit coming right up. Look. Jesus Christ! I warned you.
You can't even say the word furry anymore. And not have it mean something drastically different.
Wait, you brought in Swappers.
Oh. Back in the box.
I thought I was the boomer here.
Yeah.
Well, everyone keeps
Oops.
changing their avatars. I don't know who's who.
Yeah, well, Jesus, I can't. All right, well, I'm here now. Swappers is also known as that British cracker biscuit guy. I forget it was some biscuit in the UK that sounded like Palpatine. I think I forget what we used to call. He'll remember.
Oh yeah, Emperor Kipling. That's
Yeah,
another
that's it.
name.
Emperor Kipling.
Also known as Kippers. Oh yeah, it's beautiful
Adam
stuff.
Gray is in the chat.
Thanks for joining us, Adam.
Yay!
You could say he
Awesome.
does make exceedingly good stories.
Yes.
Only
Well,
the Brits would actually get that one.
as Magic Mike Gorley was not able to make it this evening, Adam, there is actually room on stage if you want to be a sixth. I'm basically limited to 6 because of the screen layouts I'm using in EV Mux. But Adam, if you want to come in, your link, which you probably don't have anymore, still works. All right. But anyway, let's not delay things too long.
Folks, we have emojis just before you start because Scott Hovitt, our first member, wants people to know that we have emojis.
Yes. We're asked last week to start memberships and for emojis for our chat. And so I did it. And this week I made a ton of emojis. And then when I was uploading, I found out YouTube limits them at first. So basically, it said I could only upload 4. So I went with emojis for our panelists. There is an Istophobos emoji. There is a Colin emoji. There is a Swappers emoji. And I made a Liza emoji, but that would be number 5. So we need a second member before I can upload Liza's emoji. I have the window open here next to me. If we get one more member tonight, I could actually upload that emoji while we're going on here. But in any case, folks, that's something I'm going to stick with. There's more to come, but it's got to be gradual. I got to make sure that I can manage it and commit to it. And so the emoji thing, I'll constantly make new ones. And I have some musical instruments I've made in emoji form. And I have some characters from some of the science fiction things we love also as emoji already. But anyway, we got to introduce, because we got to get to this great story. We got to introduce the man of the evening, frequently in the chat, folks. I'm sure just about all of you know of him, but do you know Praxeum of the Pathfinders yet? Cranking them out, we do have... Cranking them out one at a time, we do have the Emperor himself, Emperor Kipling Jr.
Hello, my loyal subjects. How are we all this evening? You had it right earlier on. It's Darth Kipling. At least it is when I'm in the Death Star canteen cooking up a new delectable delight for my subjects, shall we say. That's when I'm not getting crumbs everywhere all over my keyboard when I'm making a new chapter of this bloody story.
Oh my god. Oh, that's awesome. You can't beat that.
I have no idea how you keep that up.
Well, he can't for long because he's the author. Yeah. He can't just sit back and fire photon torpedoes at the media because we're going to talk to him about his great work.
Well, I have been doing voices constantly for the past 3 weeks. In the means, but if you listen to the latest chapter, you can hear them all. But yeah, with a slight AI filter over the top. But that is all my own voice acting. Yes.
Yes. You know you've done it too much when you get to the point where you're not sure what your own voice sounds like.
Oh, tell me about it. I'm not even sure what person I am anymore.
Well, that's nothing new from what I hear about Swappers, actually.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Guilty as charged.
All right, so we are going to get into it right now, and I just brought up the thumbnail here. Unfortunately, Mike Gorley, who is symbolized on the right there, was not able to join us this evening. Some things at work gotten difficult for him, and he needs to take tonight and the next week off. So I think next week we could do some Babylon 5.
Oh, Mr.
That is the world's cutest stormtrooper, I really have to say. So.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I want one. We need merge.
Yes,
Polar bears make great stormtroopers.
Yes, they do.
I made that on Night Cafe. That's a good iteration of Stable Diffusion, but the way I have to do it is basically every day if I make something, it'll give me 5 free credits because at this point I can't pay for it, folks. So I have to daily make something and get the 5 free credits so I can stack up enough to make something useful.
My slight confusion is, when did Ewoks join the Stormtroopers?
No, that's a polar bear, not an Ewok.
Yeah.
Liza
is looking lovely on the left there. Yes, I only have 4 spaces on these things. Otherwise, there would be an emperor-like individual there. But as it is our feature this evening, I do need to make one slight warning. Now, some of you who have joined us in the past know that I don't always use the good AI because I can only eke out a little bit at a time from that. So I use a lot of Stable Diffusion and stuff like that because in doing this stuff, we're talking about an audio drama based on a book that Swappers also wrote. It's almost like 2 books in one. And basically, I'd like to have something on visual on screen while we're doing this. And so I use Stable Diffusion because I'm figuring, all right, if I can't do really good AI or really good art, then I might as well do something that's just way off the mark and just something we can laugh at. So some of the visual material you're going to see is not based on his story at all. It's a good story, I don't want anyone joining us to be confused. It's like, what?
I have a question. Have you tried out using Grok AI? It's not consistent, but it's free, and they certainly...
It is?
Yeah. Just on Twitter, you have a Grok tab there, and I've gotten some very strange and inconsistent and creepy results, but I've also got some really good results for some of
my... Well, maybe between that and Night Cafe, I might be able to put together good stuff, but Night Cafe, I can only do like 1024 by 768 resolution until you pay.
Yeah, well,
but Grok, I didn't know was free. I thought I had to have a premium or something for that.
No, and it's definitely worth a try. You get higher resolution than that too. So.
There's also several good sites where you can actually upscale, and the upscaling works as well. I use a couple of those.
I figured there might be some out there, but that's a lot of searching around. And
I can send you links.
All right, awesome.
Certainly sees the links to ones I use. I actually did, when I don't know when it first came on. I first saw Grok come in, and they, when it came out on X, they did this thing where you could actually get Grok to make an image of you based on your Twitter presence, and I got it to do it. And I actually came out as quite not a bad one of it as me as an archer. It came out quite. I think it must have based a lot of it on my avatar, actually.
All right. Well, let us get on to our story. I just wanted to put this warning up, and we'll remind people along the way so Swappers doesn't get blamed for some of the stuff you see. But he has sent me some things today. I think in the future we might coordinate and enhance the artwork and make things better. I just hate to put too much on his plate, but at the same time, I don't want to show him in a bad light or anything. But yeah,
just put all his Ray AIs up there, man. Those are hilarious.
Well,
well, we could have a good 2 or 3 hour stream about. I'm not sure Liza would appreciate it, but I think the rest of us would.
What is it called? It's like Jedi training or Palpatine school or.
Oh, it's
something of an apprentice.
The Apprentice.
The Apprentice Diaries. Yeah. Brilliant stuff.
Yes, where she is the apprentice of Luke Skywalker, and she wears a French maid's outfit and serves some things. Well, anyway, those were the days, aren't they? Here we are on the serious work. Praxeum of the Pathfinders, Chapter 11. You'll find the link in the description, but it's really easy. If you go to YouTube and you search for the @ sign for a username, Star Wars Retold. That's it. 3 clear words, as a username all together is one. At Star Wars Retold, you'll find his channel. Please be subscribed and you'll get announcements, or not announcements, but notifications every time he uploads a new chapter. They've been, maybe about a month apart now. They're getting longer because it's been more intensive work, hasn't it been? This week was really intense for you.
Oh, was it ever? What is that? I mean, it's a labor of love, so I can't complain about it. But it does get exhausting because you're so intense with the concentration. You're so focused. It's like that with any piece of art, I guess. You want to make sure it's just right before you release it, and you're against. I like to set a deadline as well. So I said, the 9th of. Or now the 10th of November as the time when I'm going to have it up. So it sort of gave me a bit more of a motivation to sort of spend a little bit longer with it. But I guess the more attention you give to something, the more critical you can get of it, and that's not necessarily great because you can almost make problems that aren't necessarily there that need fixing. So you have to stop yourself eventually from meddling with it and just upload it and just be done with it. So yeah.
Yeah, I do understand. I'm in the process of making a video and I've recorded myself like 200 times and I hate everything. I hate how I sound. I no longer have the ability to judge if anything sounds like shit or not. Yeah. And with engineering, it's a little bit different, but I do have some creative hobbies and sometimes you sort of lose the ability to be objective about it. So we do get that.
I mean, the thing is, it's not perfect, but it's all forgivable, and you don't even think about it unless you're an audio professional. You don't think about it. You're into the story, and and that's what's important. As long as you can get into the story and nothing bothers you. I mean, you don't lose any immersion, and you're good to go. It was a lot of work. He was up burning the midnight oil last night, and I was working on slides. Then I had to kind of redo a bunch today. But thank you also for sending me some of the decent ones. We'll point out the decent ones. But let's summarize. I mean, if anyone's still new, I found out in the Alliance chat just a few minutes ago on Musings, some people still don't know what Praxeum of the Pathfinders is. And so I'll let you summarize that for them, Swappers, since this is your baby.
Yeah, if no one realizes yet, or they haven't been told, or they haven't found out for themselves, it's a direct continuation from The Force Awakens. And I know The Force Awakens has a lot of people maligning it. It's not a perfect film by any stretch, but I thought it was a solid start to a completely new story and a new trilogy. And I thought that ongoing subsequent trilogy would then it had a lot of potential. I could see where it could possibly go, where the characters could go, where the story could be taken, the infinite possibilities that there was. Unfortunately, the people at Lucasfilm didn't have that same attitude towards it. We kind of just got the slop that we did. But I wanted to put all the ideas, the myriad of ideas I had after sitting there brainstorming over a week, down into a novel and created a novel over a series of years. And then I've decided to turn that into this audio drama because I thought it was I was really proud of it, and I thought it was too good to waste. So it's directly set after Force Awakens, completely sidesteps The Last Jedi. Well, not completely. It kind of uses the early stages of The Last Jedi to springboard off. But then once we've left those behind, we're onto a completely different story, and we're off on a totally new adventure that hopefully completely respects and honors the original characters. So, yeah.
Who's making a cappuccino?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. The sad thing is that Rian Johnson not only destroyed Star Wars, but he went online and saw everybody's ideas, and he was determined not to go along with any of them. So if he was going to do a certain thing and he saw it online, he would do the opposite, which makes him an idiot, and he's being manipulated and reactionary. So basically everyone online came up with every good possible idea. So the only ideas left for him were
Yeah.
bad ones. And
I
that's
mean,
how
so
he ruined
true.
Star
I
Wars.
mean, yeah, it was like, what is it? Circumventing expectations or something?
Subverting expectations.
Subverting, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it became like a trend that, like, or he's following that trend where some artists believe if you try to really piss off the audience, it's great artistic integrity. And it's like, no,
Oh,
it's not.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
there's a marriage between doing what an audience would love and also doing it in a creative or a different way so that they get some sort of surprise out of it, and doing it in a way where it's not super predictable. There's a way that you can marry feeling good about a film, especially that's what Star Wars kind of is. Empire left us like, uh-oh, at the end, but you knew that they were going to have to resolve it and everything. And you never thought, oh, maybe they're just going to have everybody, just like the big three get killed off or something like that. No one ever expected it.
The thing that I found frustrating is not in one of the hundreds of interviews the guy did, no one asked him, why is it a good thing to subvert expectations, and where do you think the expectations come from in the first place? They come from the writing. So if you're constantly just going to be able to trick people and create the expectations and then do the opposite, that doesn't make you a good writer and makes you an asshole.
Oh, well
Yes.
said.
It's
Yes.
one thing to write a mystery and have some red herrings and everything, but completely subverting expectations just means you're not following your own fucking narrative, and it's a horrible way to do a story.
Mhm.
So on Swapper's channel, Star Wars Retold, you have now 11 chapters. And if you're just starting, he has a playlist there. You could go to the playlist tab and listen to them in chronological order, 1 through 11. Anyone that has already listened to the others and just want 11, that's on the main home tab there. So you can just hear it in, whichever way is going to work out best for you. So it's really convenient. And I guess we'll summarize the story thus far really briefly. Well, actually, probably Swappers, you should do that. I mean, I remember it, but you'll say it in a way that is better for your idiom.
Yeah. Well, thanks for mentioning about the playlist as well, by the way, because I always forget to mention that. But yeah, the playlist is there. You can just dive straight in, and it'll play one chapter straight after the next. So this is the reason why I don't put like adverts and comments and things like that at the end of the videos. I kind of like it to be a clean audio, so it can just flow directly chapter to chapter. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the summary of the story so people know where we're picking up.
From the last chapter. I'm trying to remember myself. It feels like forever.
Okay, well, all right. Well,
yeah.
I'll just say, yeah, maybe just listen to the first 10 chapters after the stream, and but we're just enough to know where we are right now. Basically, the resistance, after being flushed from Dakar by the First Order, is now basically out in space, and they've encountered a mysterious ship that is called the Sovereign of Free Reign, that is basically an old Star Destroyer that has been pirated and is now being used by a bunch of pirate-like people.
You can imagine Jabba's palace and the denizens he had in his court, all those kinds of people. That's kind of the riffraff that are occupying. Basically.
They're not like caricatures of pirates going "oh arr" in a vast and
not like in The
that.
Mandalorian. No, definitely not.
Yeah.
I must admit that's not what I think of when I think of Jabba's palace.
No, well, there's something we think of Jabba's palace, but
what could be what could be the sequel or the prequel to the Apprentice Diaries?
Yeah, well, there we go. You see, we don't know what's coming down the line, do we?
Yes. Well, we're going to pick up tonight at the Raddus. So this is a resistance vessel that is piloted by none other than Admiral Ackbar. And Yes, this is one of those slides that
Mm.
is the dodgy one. This has nothing to do with
Okay, this
Swapper's
was you.
creation.
Okay.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, like, yeah. It was not my intention, but at least
You
we
know,
got like 2 or 3 Admiral Ackbar wannabes there.
no, if you'd said that was a pair of guild navigators from June,
Yeah.
I could take that. I could accept that.
It reminds me
Really?
of the robot chicken Admiral Ackbar Crunch.
Oh yeah. You
Oh,
could.
haven't seen that.
That's you need to check that out. Just look it up on YouTube. It's great. It's such a
Mm.
great commercial. This just makes me think of Star Trek: The Motion Picture when they go to hyperspace and collide with a wormhole nearly, and reality starts.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, wow. Well, anyway, Admiral Ackbar is commanding the Raddus, and they were basically on Dakar as like their base, and they got flushed out of the base. And I'll let people listen to the previous chapters for that. But basically, they're kind of a little bit low on supplies, but they're not all together. Like the Raddus is in one location, and then there's the the Hope. No,
The Echo of Hope. Yeah.
the Echo of Hope. Right, the Echo of Hope, and there's one called Home One. Basically, they're spread out. And I guess the Echo of Hope is dealing with the pirates, but the Raddus is close enough that they will be joining in soon. But Admiral Ackbar is, basically assessing the situation, and they're coming up with strategies. And that's one thing that comes through in all this work is you really thought out the strategies and everything. And I'm sorry the visuals don't really help with that, but we are going to hear an excerpt in a bit, and it's some great dialogue coming up.
This
But
is well. I will just add as well quickly for anyone listening. The start of the story is pretty much the same as the end of the Force Awakens. So and also the start of the Last Jedi, where the First Order turn up at the Resistance base on Dakar and start raiding it, and they have to try and figure out a way to leave. Princess Leia, or General Leia Organa, has a plan to help her colleagues and everyone to escape. So she does that, and they split into 3 convoys. So they're harder to follow, and they basically go across different destinations across the galaxy. One of them falls foul to energy reserves, and they drop out of hyperspace early. And that's how we get into this predicament with the pirates finding them and attempting to ransack their convoy. So we're at that point now where we've got the conflict between the resistance convoy and the pirate ship.
right, all right. So they are in a convoy, but it seemed like they were separated.
Yeah, there's three convoys. Yeah, you're right. This is just one of the convoys that's been attacked.
Okay. Yeah, I am trying to right now put in your emoji there, Swappers. And when I did it, it didn't seem to appear in the chat right. Oh, wait a minute. It's working for Scott. Oh, it worked for me there. Good. Yes.
I'm kind of guessing you'd probably risk getting copyright struck if you played C.W. McCall's song in the background, even though it's about 40 years old now.
Oh, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a copyright struck on pretty much every episode because I'm using John Williams' score in certain areas. So
Well, there's a difference. You're getting a copyright claim, which means they take any monetization you might get for
Yeah.
that video,
that's
which
it,
is
yeah.
different than a strike. Strike is like you've transgressed some boundaries and you actually get something on your record, and if you get
That's
3
it.
of them, you're off YouTube.
That's
So
the way. I'm not adverse with the lingo, but yeah, that's pretty much
yeah.
it.
So folks, in the future, definitely. I know you do have a Patreon set up, but you don't
Yes.
have anything set up for contributions. But hopefully in the future you'll do that, because it would be great for people to help contribute and pay for, you have to use software that costs money to make these.
Yeah, I do have a Ko-fi account set up, which is advertised at the end of the
Okay.
video. So yeah, the link is at the end of each video.
All right, great. Oh, now here is some real stuff. This is one thing where you have the strategy session with Ackbar, and then there's a flyby at the end of that. And this is what Swappers provided me as the ship that does the flyby.
Yep. So we've got we've got a little situation where they're trying to work out what they're going to do with regards to helping the convoy that's being attacked, which is like halfway across the sector. And they're sort of debating on whether to continue on to the destination or to go back and help. And Ackbar decides that they're going to go back and help. And just before they do, this ship arrives out of nowhere, cloaked, decloaks, and flies past them, shoots at them, and then flies off and jumps to hyperspace.
And I know as an author, you want to have that remain a mystery for
now.
Yep.
Yeah, for now. If I say anything more about it, it'll kind of ruin a reveal later on. But yeah.
All right, but there, at least you get a visual for what does the flyby. I like the guns at the front there. I don't know if you remember, Boba Fett's ship. Now the ship design is different, but the way the guns came out of a central point is kind of reminiscent there. I thought, kind of cool.
It looks a little like a clone trooper's head there on the front.
A little bit, yeah.
It also looks like.
Yeah.
I would not. I don't know what the scale is on this vessel, but from the shape of it, I would not be 110% shocked to find that it actually docks with a larger vessel. It's got that sort of shape. Suggest it fits into something or fits over something. I don't know. So
this is one of my pieces of concept art I did years and years and years ago for the story, because I wanted to kind of create a concrete image in my head of what this ship looks like, because it does occur in a few places of the story. So it's roughly in the same size as the Razor Crest from The Mandalorian, if you know what that's like. It's like a gunship style vessel. It's like got loads of armaments all over it, but it separates down the middle, so the front section can eject if possible. But the whole thing is based on. I was looking around my room at the time for inspiration for objects to use, household objects, and I looked at a sewing machine.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
And that's the basis, the initial shape that I built this from. So yeah, it kind of comes from a sewing machine.
I tell you what I was thinking of is, those things you see glaziers used, where you got the two suckers and a rod between them, and you put that on and you push it on glass. Because it's got that. It looks like it's got a hand grip in the middle. That's what my first impression is, something like that. But I think, I definitely see what you're saying.
It does. You're right. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if you pop the front section off, it looks even more like a Boba Fett ship. So now I can imagine Fett's ship docking to a bigger, larger, maybe hyperspace module or something. But can I just say R.I.P. Razor Crest? I miss that guy.
Well, you're in luck for the next film, because apparently it's coming back.
No one is in luck for that next film.
No, not really.
No, where it went in season 3, it was like,
we know you need to transfer cargo and may have multiple prisoners, so we're going to give you a one-seater starship just because we want to try to sell some toys and people will remember what this is from. Ridiculous.
Yeah, totally unuseful for him. Yeah, they were really making it up on season 3. It's like totally devoid of ideas. It's like, let's do the same thing again, same bad guy. And
you don't even have enough room for your little baby Yoda, so we're gonna have to modify it and put him where the droid used to sit. It's ridiculous.
I never even bothered with season 3. So what season? I think seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian are the only Disney Star Wars I've seen, I think.
I exported this as a PNG. Somehow it took out the transparent background. But at least I can say, this is supposed to be the Raddus, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So that's the ship that Admiral Ackbar is piloting. Swappers provided me this. I guess it's 3 different views of it. Much better than the one that I generated with Stable Diffusion when I asked for the Raddus.
There'll be whales here. Yeah.
You're lucky it didn't give you a radish, because that's how
So anyway,
That's
that's
how
the
it works.
Raddus, and that
That's a whole new Star Wars episode.
that is what, and this here is another one in the convoy. This is the Echo of Hope, I believe.
That looks
Yeah, this is-
very Mon Calamari-ish and
Yes, it
very
is.
cool. Very cool.
It is a Mon Calamari ship.
Yeah, the majority of the Resistance fleet is made up of Mon Calamari vessels, or at least the main capital ships are. The Raddus is what's called, I think it's a super cruiser, so that's like 5 times bigger than this one, which is a lot bigger. It's not, I think it's about half the size of the Super Star Destroyer from Empire Strikes Back. So these ones are a lot smaller, but they're still capital ships.
And this is the one that's commanded by Admiral Madine, and they're the ones that, picking up from the last chapter, or at least the recent one, I don't know if it's the last chapter or the one before, but basically they're in a position where they're low on resources, and they don't have the ability to fight off these pirates, so the pirates are basically looting what little they do have, and basically they're having to have just stand by and take it. So as we go forward here, what the hell? Yeah, my controls are covering it up. Oh yeah, that's the Echo of Hope according to Stable Diffusion. I think it's all hope is lost.
That
Is that a Vorlon ship? What's going on here?
No.
it's either that or it's the Enterprise D or E after the sources are separated.
I'm having trouble making any sense of it whatsoever.
Yeah, no.
It looks a little bit like the.
Don't overthink it. And of course, the Echo of Hope is commanded by Admiral Madine, who's beside himself with the situation.
I will issue a brief correction here. It is General Madine, but yeah, it's the same guy.
Oh, well, the AI summary you sent me last night said Admiral.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's the AI just screwing up as normal.
Yeah. I was finding that out when I was listening today. I was like hearing everyone general. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Admirals. It's too late. So anyway, of course, it doesn't look anything like him anyway. This is complete AI garbage. And so that's the situation we have. And wait a minute. This is more realistically what the Sovereign, that's the pirate vessel. It's called the Sovereign of Free Reign. And it's basically a Star Destroyer that they repurposed. These pirates who are really aligned with no one. They're not friends with the First Order. They're not friends with the New Republic, which in the Force Awakens had their capital planet blown up, but a completely new planet destruction from a completely new Death Star.
Are the pirates similar to how they were in the Thrawn trilogy?
Not really. I mean, in Heir to the Empire, I guess Talon Card's kind of the leader of that faction, I guess you could say. But these are more like, let me think. These guys are more like sort of the minions of gangsters. But there's like a galactic pirate nation, and they've all kind of unified. They're all their own sort of thing, but they're all unified under this singular nation that's based at one particular point in the galaxy. And it's a sort of an attempt to order themselves and create some kind of society. But the ones in Heir to the Empire are quite a bit different. These ones are a lot more akin to what we got in Return of the Jedi with Jabba's I guess you call it entourage.
I have to admit, people may not agree, but I like me a bit of Hondo Ohnaka.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you like Hondo, you'll like a lot of the pirates that are in this story.
Awesome.
Not being familiar with you, I thought some of the mistype does Holdo return.
Oh no! I was asking about Hondo.
Yeah. No. It's because I saw something said Hondo.
I don't like Holdo.
No, I don't know who Hondo is. So I thought, hold on a second. Sorry, I didn't see him put it. I said, has someone mistyped Holdo? I'm thinking it's picture of a.
Okay, no.
Isn't Hondo the guy from Lethal Weapon that tortured Mel Gibson?
I don't know.
That's
maybe, but no,
I think
it's
this is still a Hondo in Predator.
no. Well, I
There's-
don't know. There could
I
be.
think there's at least one Western, I think, called Hondo as well.
Well, we're talking about Hondo Anaka. You would have to be familiar with Clone Wars
Clone
or
Wars or
Rebels.
Rebels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I felt were decent.
Oh.
I know some people not, but
All right, just for reference, that guy was named Hondo in Lethal Weapon. So just saying,
Okay.
maybe
Oh, okay.
you need a
Great.
guy to torture someone.
All right, you can look them
Haven't
up.
seen Lethal
This
Weapon.
is the Stable Diffusion version of.
Oh.
Well, now this is quite wrong because it is a repurposed Star Destroyer from. It's like an older model. Now, I don't know if it's covered in the story so far because it's been a while since I did the previous chapters. But Swappers, was there any mention about how they came across it? I guess the Empire was falling, and somehow pirates were able to get a Star Destroyer. And
Yeah, I haven't gone into the backstory much about it, but there was there's going to be references throughout the story. But there was something that happened after Return of the Jedi, before the kind of the start of the New Republic, where the Empire, what was left of them, went on an exodus from the known area center of the galaxy and flew up to the unknown regions on this kind of giant pilgrimage, I guess, to try and regroup and construct a new fleet. And a lot of their ships were destroyed or left behind at Jakku, the Battle of Jakku, which is why we see all the wreckage on the planet. And this is one of the surviving ships that was basically taken over and repaired by the pirate nation, and they've been piloting it around the galaxy for several decades.
So the Battle of Jakku is the one we saw in The Force Awakens.
Or we saw the aftermath of it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. The aftermath. Yeah, because I remember. I was confused in The Force Awakens as to where I was, because Jakku is just basically a Timu Tatooine.
That's exactly what I thought when I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
the desert planet.
Yeah.
the actual planet that was invaded at the end was where the Resistance was holding out.
Crate. I think it was
Crate.
called Crate.
Crate. Okay, all right. I don't know. Somehow these planets just never made it into my memory bank. Jakku did, just because of the word. But anyway, it's like Naboo. All right. Well, anyway, we have here. I don't know what the hell is happening. Oh yeah, this is another version of the Sovereign of Free Reign. That one I might even go in. That looks kind of cool. I don't know which way it's headed, but next we have here on the Sovereign of Free Reign, this Star Destroyer that's now being run by pirates. I guess they also call themselves the Sovereign of Free Reign, right? Or what is their official name?
They are the Freelancer Nation of Arcassus, I think, is the full title.
Freelancer Nation of Arcassus, the FNA, we'll call them. So they are holding Poe Dameron prisoner, and that looks more like Finn, to be honest with you. But anyway, let's just, for the sake of fun, let's go along with this being Poe. So he's being held prisoner. He was basically scouting out the area, and he got taken prisoner, right?
At the end of the first chapter, Poe was featured quite heavily in the escape of the Resistance from Dakar.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, but I didn't know what happened to him. I guess. Oh, wait a minute. You didn't actually say what happened to him until now, right?
Yeah, that's right. So,
all right. So I didn't miss shit. All right, good.
He used the hyperspace jump without a destination, which can either possibly destroy you or end up putting you in an incredibly hazardous situation. So he was lucky enough to land in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't quite the middle of nowhere, and he was picked up by the pirate destroyer.
Right. Well, no, that's good. I mean, it's one of those things where less is more in not saying exactly what happens. The audience would just basically pick up, all right, here he is. That's where he ended up, and then wanting to know more about the background. Me, I'm just like, we were all doing this last minute, so I'm just like I'm just trying to not be embarrassed. It's like, I don't think it was said, never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, the story's good. But anyway, he's being held prisoner by this lady here. Man, sometimes it allowed me to have a transparent background, and sometimes it just put in white. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
I believe it's still canon to say if you don't do the calculation, you could fly right through a star or bounce too close to a supernova. Boy, wouldn't that end your trip real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this is the leader of the Sovereign of Free Reign, Captain Emeriss Severum. And so she interrogates Poe and everything. Anything you wanted to say about that section of the story there?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to play the dialogue now. I have a little marker there. So I'm going to play the dialogue so we can hear a sample of the story. But anything you want to say to set it up?
Well, she was brought in a few chapters ago. Just briefly, a brief introduction as she was kind of approaching the Resistance fleet. And we had a little bit of dialogue between her and General Madine and her intentions of what she's going to do. And she's a bit ruthless. And in this particular scene coming up, it's kind of like a reveal of what happened to Poe. So, and there's this kind of, I'm not quite sure what kind of relationship you call it between them, really. It's kind of sort of a semi-flirtatious, one-sided, cold shoulder type confrontation, this kind of interaction they have. So I'll let you play the clip anyway, so people can hear it.
It's almost competitive. She almost seems to be like trying to show him that, we're going to win this situation. And he's like thinking, we will. It's almost like you did over the course of the chapter, because there's another instance where he's speaking to her later on. But it's almost like it seems like he would like them to realize, hey, I agree with your whole, don't want to be governed thing, but, you really should be on our side so you can, make sure the First Order doesn't take over. And he seems to be wanting her to go that direction, but she's more like in the direction of, I'm just going to do whatever I want and I don't need any allegiances.
Sure, yeah.
All right, so let me play it. Here we go. So this is Poe Dameron and Emeriss Severum in conversation with one another, and you get to listen to some really good dialogue. And this is what an example of what you'll hear from the chapter.
Meanwhile, aboard the Sovereign of Free Reign, Captain Emeriss Severum waited in the detention block corridor, eyes fixed on the darkened viewport of a holding cell. At her side loomed her droid bodyguard RD-041, a slab of armored metal standing sentinel against a wall. A tap of her fingers on the keypad, and the cell erupted with a harsh alarm. Inside, the prisoner stirred. On a narrow slab of cold steel, Poe Dameron dragged himself upright, blinking blearily through exhaustion. Despite the sleep-starved eyes and tangled hair, the beginnings of a roguish smirk emerged on his face. His flight suit, stripped down and soiled, bore the stains of rough handling from Severum's less disciplined guards.
Oh, my wake-up call. What great service. Captain, what a surprise. If I'd known you were dropping by, I'd clean a place.
Enough beauty sleep, Dameron.
On your feet, prisoner.
Hey, easy, come on. The guy enjoys the chase. Quite the party you throw me. Is it my birthday? Why do you treat all your guests this way?
Your stay is at an end, Commander. We're releasing you back into the wild, though your droid and ship remain ours. Payment for your upkeep, and the damage you caused on arrival.
Well, first of all, I'm honored you grace me with your presence, instead of getting your clanking pet to toss me out an airlock. Second, I'll be keeping my droid. And third, anyone ever tell you how good you look when you're angry?
RD, escort Mr. Dameron to the docking bay. Let him rejoin his comrades, stranded in the cold embrace of space, awaiting the arrival of the First Order.
With pleasure, Captain.
Hey, wait a second. The Resistance? They're here? How?
A lone resistance pilot wandering blind through a sector heavily patrolled by the First Order? A little strange, don't you think? The destruction of Ilum is already plastered across the Holonet. The Starkiller was their well-kept secret until it tore the heart out of the New Republic. Only General Organa's little army of fanatics would be reckless enough to strike back at such a monstrosity. And then I found your fighter's databanks, cluttered with traces of encrypted frequencies and comm signatures, enough to sketch the path of your flight from Dakar. All I had to do was watch the skies, sift the static, and wait. One convoy drifting through the wrong patch of stars at the wrong time. Convenient, isn't it?
What, you dirty sneaking...
We're here for the spoils, Commander. Purely business, you understand?
Okay, Rissy, you're a free spirit. I can respect that. Nothing or no one's gonna tie you down. But even you have to know. Sooner or later, the First Order are gonna come for your kind too. And then this outfit you spent decades building, it'll all be over. Instead of all this pillaging, why not just pitch in and take a stand with us? With a ship like this, you and your people could really make a difference.
There's always a bigger predator, Commander. The Republic's illusions of virtue made it blind to the rot within, until inevitably, tyranny claimed it. Always the same refrain. Peace by chains, order by the will of some hooded despot who pretends a destiny. We learned long ago, before even the Empire, such cycles devour everything in their path. And so we stepped aside, we endured. We became skilled at vanishing between the cracks, beyond the reach of empires, and the tyrants who wear them like masks. Commander Dameron assumes we are part of his republic, but in truth, they cared little for our kind. They created us and cast us aside. Now, I fully intend to return the favor. Time to throw him back overboard. RD, you know what to do?
Yes, Captain.
Hey, Severum, where do you think you... hands off me, you damn coat stand.
Silence, prisoner, or you'll get more than binders to wear.
All right. So that was the scene there. So she gives a little backstory, I guess, at least, you know, some reason why they feel the way they feel, or she does.
I like to think that the image suits the voice and vice versa.
Yeah, I believe it does. You know, one of these days, you might be able to get AI to bring this character into video form.
I believe the software is out there now to allow me to do it, but it's just having the time.
Yes.
Yeah, so are
Yes.
all those voices you?
Yes.
And the narrator included?
Yeah, I had to do all the voice acting and everything.
Yeah, he can do American.
Yeah. Oh, let's hear you do a yank.
Oh God.
You have to give me something to say. I'm not sure what.
Okay. Say how long have you been working on this novel?
I've been working on it for like, I don't know, about five or 6 years, maybe something like that. Maybe since 2018. I think it was about 2018. I kind of started writing out notes.
Awesome.
Well, the narrator isn't a cowboy, from what I remember.
That's a mite right better than my British accent. I'll say.
Oh,
mate.
yeah.
It's way better.
I
than
can only
mine.
do Monty Python voices.
Yes.
I sometimes have to. I kind of have to warm myself up sometimes because I kind of sit here and talk for about 10 minutes before I do it.
We are most displeased. Yeah. Python
We
makes
got
it
a
easy.
little bit of Pennsylvania there.
Well, I was hearing a little more west.
I
don't get localized to any one particular area. But when I stayed in, when I was in Georgia for a while, I started getting that old Southern drawl, y'all. You know,
Oh
Right.
yes, yes.
a little bit of that accent, and everyone picked up on that one. I tell you.
Do you find
That was pretty good.
do you
Even
find
when Even when we don't have the drawl, so to speak, we still have a relaxed cadence, and while
Yeah.
you're talking, it's
Yeah.
just really smooth. That's why lawyers pay money to learn to talk like us.
Oh yeah.
I can see why.
That was good. That was good, Colin.
Do you find that sometimes you have to find a sort of a few words to sort of get your brain in that sort of sort of generic phrase, like you sort of go and say "G'day, Bruce," puts you in a bit of an Australian accent, maybe.
Yeah, every single time. Every single time. Australian straight away. I could finish watching a robot head video and start with an Australian accent.
Mm.
Yeah, because we know how much Han Solo loves to say "crikey."
Yeah, exactly.
Bruce.
Boy, you said it, Chewie, mate.
All of my British accents end up devolving into Australian. So
Yeah, you just combine the two. You just combine the Australian with a Monty Python reference. And you go, "I'd like to welcome you all to the university. This is Bruce, and Bruce. Bruce, this is Michael. Michael, that's going to be a bit confusing. Do you mind if I call you Bruce? I'd like to remind you of
Anybody
the
just
rules.
joining us will be really confused. This
Rule
was
one,
my
you won't go into that any further.
this was my Severum, at least the one on the left. The headless one in the middle, I don't know.
Oh God!
Yeah,
It's a
and
whole
then
teleporter accident.
Severin. Now, my AI synopsis that I was going on last night just said Vassia. I didn't know there was a first name and it was a guy, so I ended up with this kind of Vassia. But anyway, the Severum has a first officer named Vassia. I think the first name's like Eric or something.
Azaric, yeah.
Azaric, okay. Yeah, and basically they seem to be like fearful of her, so she has a ship of
You missed one there, mate. You should have had first name Vassia and the surname should have been Lean.
we got off topic, but I wanted to make sure to say to swappers just how great the voices sound and what a good job you did, man.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't have in a million years. I knew it was all you because you talked to us about it before, but still, like I would have never known by listening.
Yeah, I'm trying to say some things for anyone joining us for the first time, but this is about like the fourth time that we've done this. We did like a summary of chapters 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, then 7, 8, then 9, 10, and now this is 11. So it might be the fifth. And I forgot to mention that, yeah, so anyone just joining us would probably be struck by how good it sounds.
Can I just can I take the liberty of reading this comment out?
Yeah.
I'll do it in the style of Emeriss Severum, okay, just to show that you can probably hear my voice coming through it. Hi, everybody. I'm just lurking and learning, eating beef, pho, with an everything bagel and cream cheese, and a Shasta cola mixed with grape juice and apple juice.
Awesome. Robot. Awesome.
Wow.
Cool.
Yes, robot.
Who eats bagels with pho? That's a very unusual combination.
A robot does.
I thought that was Robot Head there for a second.
Yeah.
Now kindly dispose of these bagels. They are far out of date. Vassia, you know what to do.
Awesome.
Oh, what is that? Oh, faux. Yeah, it's like the first thing I thought it was faux. That what is it? Is it?
Yeah, it's Southeast Asian noodles.
Yeah,
Yummy noodles. Yes.
The faux philosopher.
Robot can cook. Yes. Awesome.
All right. Well, they're having a space battle, and basically the one thing is it can't convey here, too well. I could play, I could have played some of the audio, but I chose not to because, we want to leave something for the listeners. We want people to be able to engage the story and play it from his channel, where we definitely could use some watch hours and everything. But, it's really well thought out, like the strategies being employed, because there are still some fighters around the Echo of Hope, and the fighters are, have decided, all right, we're going to try and fend this ship, even though they're getting away with some looting. Um, they're doing what they can to protect it, and you have strategies from the capital ships and what they're doing, and then what the fighters are doing, and it just works. And I like how that was well thought out, especially when Ackbar comes in. But there's a space battle going on, and then these are two of the heroes in the space battle. On the left, you have there Nien Num, and then on the right, we have Temin Snap Wexley.
Oh. What is
Now the thing that's wrong here is they're not in the same vessel. I think one has an X-wing, and I'm not sure what the other one's flying. But
is that the only thing that's wrong here? Look closer. You don't see it.
Well, one's missing an arm.
No.
What?
Well, yeah, but
what else?
Oh gosh.
Well,
gosh,
hands,
these.
maybe. No,
it's like a Beavis and Butthead, but they fell into some type of vat that disfigured them, kind of thing.
Well, this is just for visuals. I'm sure that neither look quite like this.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're the ones that are in the fighters, defending the ship as best they can.
Yeah. These characters are quite well known to most of the Star Wars fandom, I would have thought. Neenan was in the Battle of Endor, who co-piloted the Falcon with Lando Calrissian.
Oh yes. Didn't know what his name was.
Yeah. Well, his voice sounded that way, and in this audio, he does sound like him. I don't want to imitate it because I'd probably get charged with racism or something. I'm surprised George Lucas didn't get some cries about that with that.
Well, you're not he did. UK, so you'll probably be all right.
Yeah, he did actually.
Okay. Now,
I think
Liza and I disagreed on this when we were wondering, all right, so what Earth culture was Lucas, trying to emulate with this character? And she and I came up with two different continents, and I was thinking Asia, and she's thinking Africa.
I think you'll find Liza was the right one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he already did Asia with the other characters, the Ewoks.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, the voice, Neenan's voice was taken from, I think it was a Ugandan dialect, I think, or something like that. But they're heavily modified, but that's what it's based from.
All right. Well, I was going with the AI, TTS last night when it's saying the name, so I call him Nien Num. Snap Wexley. Where's Snap from?
Snap Wexley is the son of a rebel pilot from the Battle of Endor. His mother was, I try to remember her name now. She was married to Wedge Antilles. In this, I'm talking about the books that were released after or before the Force Awakens, I think, or after the Force Awakens. And they kind of created a backstory for what happened to a lot of the characters after Return of the Jedi. And Snap Wexley is just this little kid in a lot of those stories around the time of the Battle of Jakku. And he idolized rebel pilots and stuff and ended up being one himself. So he's human. He's in all three of the sequel trilogy movies, I think. Played by Greg, I can't remember how his surname is pronounced. Gutberg, I think. Something like that. And he was in, can you remember that old... from about like 10 plus years ago, that TV series Heroes that was on, that was kind of a bit of a phenomenon at the time.
Yeah, the first season anyway. Yeah.
I kind of gave up after that. Yeah, but he played the cop that had he could basically hear everyone's thoughts. He could sort of read people's minds. That's the guy. That's the actor that plays Snap Wexley.
Okay.
So I used a print of his voice.
Yeah. So they're engaged in the the fight there. And let me see. Is at this point we encounter the enemy, however.
It's a shame this image is so small. Really, it's like you couldn't blow it up. But that's your computer with messing around with its PNGs again or whatever.
Yeah, and in fact, I don't know why there's a white background. It wasn't like that when I exported them. It must have been the software that made them PDF slides.
Is that a Xena class ship?
It's a C-wing, a Varys C-wing. And this is one of the real images that Swapper sent me. So the FAN or FNA, the pirates, they are utilizing this as a fighter called a Varys C-wing, and AI called it the Scythe Fighters. So,
yeah, it's called that in the narration. It refers to them as scythe shaped.
Yeah,
it's difficult to kind of describe this to a listener of an audio drama. Really, you kind of have to get it across in some kind of relatable shape.
I know. Well, if you just hear the audio drama, you're fine, folks. The problem for me was that last night Swappers needed to give me a summary because he was still finishing up the mix, and the summary was AI generated, and it called these the Scythe Fighters. It took what he said as a descriptor in the book as them being scythe shaped, and it named them the Scythe Fighters. And so that was the name I had in my head, and that prompted me to generate a Scythe Fighter, and this is what I got.
Another ship from the first ones. Okay.
Oh, definitely.
That's Grog's ship. Okay.
But anyway, we'll go back to the real one. Yeah, sorry, it should be bigger, I guess. But I was doing this like maybe 45 minutes before the show.
Yeah, it was kind of like a last minute thing. I sent all this stuff over. Yeah.
But anyway, it was cool.
I just remembered I had all these images ready to go, and I thought, oh wow, yeah, I really should send them. So
yeah, or yeah, it would. That we're going to coordinate that in the future, and I think in the future it might be advantageous if I had slides that look good.
I'll do my best to kind of try and see it.
Yeah, I think you might need the help because
yeah.
Well, you're the author, and of course, I want to like illuminate your vision on the things you create. Like this is your own design, right?
Yeah, this is another piece of the concept art from the story. Yeah, I had this idea in my head when I was thinking up the very early stages of all my notes and things. And I was like just sketching down vague shapes of new ships I could design, that was things that we haven't seen before. And I just wondered how this could work practically in a military kind of capacity. And I thought, well, actually, that shape could quite lend itself quite well because it's like a modified. The principle is similar to a B-wing, with the cockpit at one end and all the business at the other end. But just in a slightly different shape, and enables a different configuration of weapons. So it's a combination of fighter and kind of gunship because it's so heavy loaded with weapons. So he's got maneuverability of a fighter, but the armaments of a gunship, which makes it quite formidable, and it's got a lot of secrets up its sleeve as well.
Yeah, and basically it was one that the fighters of the Resistance were really having trouble with. It seemed like they had experience on their side in the Resistance in being constantly hounded by the First Order, so they're kind of battle trained, but these guys probably maybe didn't see as much organized combat, but they have some really creative adaptations that they employed.
Yeah, the story behind this, I guess it doesn't really spoil anything if I tell you. It's kind of revealed later on in a few chapters' time. But these were, it does say in this chapter that they were created by this company called Incom, and they're the company that creates historically X-Wing fighters, T-16 Skyhoppers, Y-Wings, things like that. And the Rebel Alliance used a lot of their fighters in the original trilogy. So it's another one of it's like an advanced progression of their designs. And right at the end of the New Republic era, the certain politicians saw it in their infinite wisdom to disarm the galaxy, to prevent further wars. So in doing so, Incom was disbanded, and all their projects that were in production got cancelled. So ships that were already being made were kind of shelved and sidelined and put away in storage because they were never meant to be used. Eventually, anyway, they're meant to be used, but not, finalized and sold to dealers. So one of a complement of these was knocking around somewhere in the galaxy, and Severum, being the opportunistic pirate she is, managed to come across them, and she started using them herself.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like that's one thing that happened with the New Republic that kind of gets lost in the lack of storytelling about it in the newer Star Wars. It's like I think they should have picked up with the fall of the Republic more gradually, and and also the progression of Ben's, Ben Ren, Kylo Ben Ren, his progression, and I keep wanting to call her Daisy, but Ray's progression too. They should have started with that and see that unfold rather than coming right into it midway and the audience is lost. The one thing we would have been good to see is how the New Republic was, and then see what happened to them, and then see,
Yeah.
how the remnants from the Empire build more. See some of these in progress rather than bang, you're here again.
Agreed.
And the New Republic, I guess the thing is, one of the weaknesses that I can derive from what you're doing in your storytelling was they were mostly about trying to disarm, dismantle, and they didn't even improve what they had because they're still using X-wings.
Yeah.
There's something that's always struck me as about the Star Wars trilogies as someone who's not heavily into the extended universe or anything, and relying mainly on the films, is I think until it was until I actually saw the last one of the prequels, I hadn't realised the Empire was so new. I hadn't realised that the Empire was 16 years old, effectively.
Yeah.
As a very short period of time, which seemed to have taken over, even with preparation.
Yeah.
And then you've got 30 years, is it, between Return of the Jedi and
Yeah.
Force Awakens?
No
Sure.
time
Well,
at all.
when Star Wars first came out, though, the Empire was not that new. That's something that was retrofitted.
Yeah.
I just wanted to Swappers and Lawrence. I just DM'd you something I made in 5 seconds with Grok. It's not perfect, but it gives you an idea of what you can do.
Okay.
I don't know if you can put it on the screen or not. I don't know how EV Monks works. So
Let me open up Twitter here, but I would ask you though, since you're aware, is like how do they differentiate between the free and the paid version? Like, what are the limitations with the free version of Grok?
I don't know. I've never paid, but I've never run it. I think one time I did like 300 images, and it said I had to wait 2 hours for.
Oh, okay.
So. Yeah, I've never done the paid. I think that would just come with paid Twitter. So,
okay. Well,
they're pretty good. I'm just looking at them now. They're pretty good, nice renders, definitely. So this is a quality that you can get, which is pretty good.
Yeah, probably not what you had in mind, but kind of cool.
Yeah,
I'm going to share. Yeah, it looks like I'm getting a little bit of encouragement here to maybe not give so many headless entities and things like that. So let's explore this here. Let me get the right tab up here. This is, that's what I'm currently in, YouTube Studio X. There we go. There, should be sharing it now. Is that what folks see? I just want to make sure.
Wow.
Ooh, that's nice. Yeah. That's very nice. Yeah.
Crescent Moon. It's reminding me of some character from somewhere, and I'm wondering if I can think where.
There's also like a fighter version of it, which was the first one it came up with. I thought was really cool. You can see the cockpit on the bottom part of the sea, but
do you know? I tell you what, I could say. too, I can see that, Doug. I don't think it's the way the Star Wars physics works, but I can see that spinning on its axis and sort of creating a tunnel in space or something.
I'm sorry, did you say Star Wars and physics in the same sentence? I
Yeah.
didn't think
Mhm.
those actually.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, Star Wars of the sci-fi, stories has always been a little lighter on the science and stuff,
Yeah.
but
Well, it's
it
fantasy,
had its
isn't
own
it?
elements and its own
Yeah.
magic to it. But at least in the earlier iterations, they didn't take that lack of science so far as to have like pieces of the Death Star land on a planet with windows intact.
Yeah.
Sonar in
Gosh.
space and fire in space. Yes.
Yeah, and
Mm.
and what was the other thing? Yeah, fires in space. So
Yeah, well, according to some relatively cloudy science fiction authors who, you know, um, they would classify Star Wars as space fantasy rather than science fiction, and not science fantasy, which is a blend of fantasy and science fiction. So the genre that Harlan Ellison would have referred to Star Wars as is space fantasy.
maybe. I mean, I could see some of that, especially when the Force, was originally
Yeah, the original.
created.
Yeah, not when they introduce midi-chlorians and try to give it a.
Oh, that still hurts all these years later.
It is horrible. No, that.
Yeah.
I remember my heart sinking during the Phantom Menace. Like, what? Wait a second.
Yeah, well, that 1999.
Yeah.
And I still feel the punch in the gut sitting in the
Yeah.
theater when he whips out his tricorder to measure the force. It's like, ah,
Yeah,
no!
it's like no.
Yeah, it made a lot more sense when it was a case of psychically manipulating a universal force or universal energy, whatever it was.
And that anybody with training could learn to do it. That's, I mean, until the Phantom Menace, anybody could be trained to use the Force. It wasn't something that, you had to have certain genetics for. I was very
Well,
disappointed.
or at least it was some things where maybe you would, have a little more predisposition to it, or something, but it wasn't so hard and fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The explanation in Star Wars was perfect and comprehensive. An energy field created by all living things that surrounds us and binds us together. What more do you need? Like,
Exactly.
that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And that
anyway,
anyone can tap into that, but it's
Yeah, they made it really elitist. Like,
yeah, really.
yeah, it's actually some guy wrote a really long essay about the prequels and how they mattered from a political ideological viewpoint, and that was exactly his point. The Force went from being something accessible to all living things to being something that was elitist and only handed down and bestowed upon others by the powerful. So yeah, man, that's about until we get to Broom Boy, but we don't talk about him, right?
Yep. Adam Gray seems to be in agreement too. Oh, by the way, I should have said earlier, folks, if there's anyone out there that is not aware of B-roll stage and the B-side stream, please check them out.
Yes.
It's great fun on Friday nights, enjoying some
Yes.
B-movies with some commentary and some shorts from just about everything.
Yeah, can
So-
we post the link in the chat? Is that okay to the
Oh, you're not a mod?
No, I am. I'm asking your permission before I
yeah,
post
yeah.
an
Go ahead,
external
go ahead.
fundraiser link in your
Oh,
chat.
good.
Oh,
Yes, please. I didn't have that link, so I didn't post it.
Oh, the link
Yeah.
for yes.
Adam's GoFundMe, or Adam can do it. He's a mod too, but I've been told it's rude not to ask. So
Oh yeah. I didn't know that specifically. I was mentioning B-sides, but yeah, that's another good thing to mention. These times are kind of rough on folks, and Adam, Babs, and Johnny are, people we care for, and I know it's rough times, so we'd like to help out, but we have to wait because we're trying to make a bill ourselves next week. And
Yeah.
so, but anyone that can help out, there's a GoFundMe that is legit, and these are legitimate, real people we've known for a while. So if you can help out, it's about, getting the bills paid so that they can keep providing the content they provide. And unfortunately, YouTube and Rumble both have not been good to the B-roll stage family.
No.
YouTube still refuses to monetize them, even though
They're working with public domain movies.
Yeah.
Commentary on movies that are owned by no one. Horrible YouTube. Yeah, horrible.
It's great. It's like going to a shitty movie with your friends on Friday night. It couldn't be, and occasionally, man, they're really good.
Yeah. I know some of them, it's like, there's some things that can be just so not good that it's enjoyable to watch because you're having fun seeing how
Yep.
not good it is and stuff. But some of them are just, I don't know, just some have been quality things that just maybe didn't work out at the time or something. I don't know. But anyway, also going to the channel will be a great way to stay in touch too. So check out, I know the user is Adam Gray, but the channel is called B-Roll Stage. So Adam, you can drop that link in too.
There we go. We got a link.
Okay, I just copied it. I was going to drop it, but okay, thanks.
All right, and we'll get the artwork there. Basically, the battle wages on, and and it's really good battles and stuff in this story. I mean, I don't want to play like the whole episode. It's 30 minutes, and so I didn't want to play the whole thing and just like have no reason for people to go play it on Star Wars Retold, which is where you should play it.
No, that's definitely even more than 1984 June.
I was going to say, I feel like I'm like having abduction flashbacks or something.
Yeah,
that's I could see where. No,
I like the atmosphere in here, the lighting, the fog, like the smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it is weird, and it definitely looks like a Ghostbustery kind of thing coming at you, but
Yes.
yeah.
the lighting and an atmosphere, the mood is right.
Yeah, but you put in the same prompt again, you'll get something completely different. So, it's not a tool that you can use, but I guess if you work the seeds, you might be able to do something. But in any case, let's get back to the story. Admiral Ackbar is coming to the rescue because he's bringing the Raddus over, and the convoys combining together, and so you really get into a major brawl there with the capital ships and the fighters. And Swappers is great at detailing some of the strategies and then the execution, and so you can really follow along as a good space battle. Yeah, go ahead.
I was really insulted at how they turned Admiral Ackbar, who is a master strategist and tactician and battle-tested general. It kind of made him a joke in the last few Star Wars movies and in the production itself. They sort of turned into a joke when they did the Rise of Skywalker rap party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And very insulting. They ordered him to the rap party, or they invited him to the rap party, and he was quite touched, only to find out when he got there, they wanted to Ackbar him up, and he's supposed to go, "It's a rap." Like, I mean, how thoughtless can you be towards somebody who's put that much of their life into this franchise?
Yeah, well, the actor said that he felt so dishonored by it that he went out the back and basically burst into tears after he did that. So they just completely mistreated him. They just didn't care at all. They were a bunch of psychopaths, I swear. They basically treated a lot of these characters as memes, and that's how a lot of the people working on the sequels thought of Star Wars. They just know it through memes. They don't actually know the story and the actual material itself, and it's tragic, and it unfortunately shows on screen.
Yeah, didn't they destroy a Ralph McQuarrie original for the Boba Fett show? Like, how ridiculously horrible can you be?
Yeah, terrible, absolutely terrible. But we could talk about how bad they are forever, couldn't we?
Well, I
Well,
mean,
we usually do.
some of it's intentional in trying to, shall we say, pervert or corrupt what was, and some of it is unintentional, just ineptitude.
Well, I think as Mega Geek would put it, they are trying to they just trying to destroy heroes.
Mm-hmm.
They literally just take a hero and destroy it, deliberately destroy it as
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
well,
Yeah.
and at the same time, with what's on screen right now, from what I did, I'm not feeling too good myself.
Yeah.
But this was not intentional. This is just ineptitude.
This is earworms laughs.
Mhm.
It is.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
all.
it's just like Robot Chicken wasn't insulting by joking about it. They were paying tribute to
Oh
them.
my gosh. Robot Chicken is amazing. I mean, if you haven't seen the Wrath of Khan opera, oh my god.
Yeah,
What
that's
a
great.
tribute.
Do you know where the Robot Chicken name came from?
No.
So, and the guys, when they were working at Comedy Central, and it might have been the one in Atlanta on William Street, they had takeout menus of the restaurants close by, and one of them was a Chinese restaurant that had really bad English, and on the menu it was like number 7 Robot Chicken. So
Awesome.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
that's what they
awesome.
named the show. Yeah.
I've never quite understood why there seems to be this thing that I've never been sure if people are taking the piss, taking the Mickey out of Admiral Ackbar with a little bit of it's a trap coming up and thinking it always seems a lot of it seems to be for some reason used for comedy. But hold on a second, this guy's just realised in an instant what it did. This guy's situation changed, and this guy's just in an instant assessed the situation and realised what's happening. It's a mark of military genius, not some of that that seems to get taken for a joke.
Yeah, I love how the books treat him as the, master tactician and strategist that he was. You're right. He was the first one to realize that they were being set up, and he's, without panicking, trying to warn everybody. I get how the line is memeable, but it really shouldn't have been played for laughs. Yeah.
I like to think I've done the character justice in this story. Anyway, I've tried to portray him as intelligently as possible, taking charge and being the tactician and commander that we all know him as, and he was established as. So the character that he should have been in the sequel story is what I've got in this episode.
Yeah, I have no doubt that you treated him properly. None at all.
Yeah. So, that's one thing that will be coming back is in this. I even made a slide for it that all his strategies were coming through as far as how they were going to handle things. The fighters were going after the turrets and stuff at first, and then the flanking maneuvers. I mean, it's all in there. And now, Severum is getting a hologram from Maz Kamata, who, if you don't remember, is the googly eye woman from The Force Awakens. That I didn't really quite understand what her purpose was. Or
you could just call her female Yoda, because that's her job was to replace the inferior male version of the wise mentor.
Well, he was dead.
But
at the same time, I'm not sure what her purpose was at first. And The Force Awakens is all I saw, and I gave up after that. So I didn't even see.
Yeah, there's no way we were going to see anything after that.
The only bit from the clips I've seen is her purpose seems to be to completely bat aside an extremely important question, like how the heck did you get hold of something which apparently fell from a flying sky base?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question.
Oh my god! And it suddenly got cool, and someone asked that question, and her sole purpose was say, "Yeah, bypass it. Good question for another day." In other words, who cares? Irrelevant. Don't worry about it. We hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, not to mention the day never came but that's
Well, yeah.
another. Yeah. They never. That's a JJ special though. He loves asking questions, but he never has the answers to them.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, the only thing I remember about the character was they went to some space bar for some reason. I don't know what. And she had Luke's, well, Anakin's lightsaber that Luke had, at least up until his arm was cut off. And she had that. And I'm not sure where her background is, why she was there or anything, just that, fortunately they went there and she had it and she gives it to freaking Ray. And I don't know. I just don't remember, I guess, or maybe it wasn't quite clear.
Well, they went there ostensibly so they could help get BB-8 to the Resistance, but like if Han Solo doesn't know where to go,
At a bar?
but but the reality was they needed a cantina scene. They needed a female version of Yoda so they could, and but the storyline says they were trying to get BB-8 to the Resistance, which, oh, you mean your ex-wife, the one that runs that? You don't know how to get in touch with her, really? Don't you have some child support or something anyway? You have an address, a phone number, or something?
Oh, okay.
That and the merchandising opportunities, I suspect.
Okay.
That was another big, painful moment to find out that Han Solo and Leia were not together. That was horrid.
It would just be completely unpopular at all for them to be, a successful, happy couple.
Well, someone pointed out that apparently, and I hadn't actually clocked when they pointed it out because I haven't seen seven of his latest movies, that that makes a trilogy of Harrison Ford playing deadbeat dads.
Yeah.
He's deadbeat dad in this. They make him a deadbeat dad in Raiders of the Lost Ark, and apparently they made him they fucked him over when they did in the sequel to Blade Runner.
Oh yeah.
Apparently. So that make as I said, if I may again channel Mega Geek, real masculine heroes. Fine, just turn them into deadbeat dads.
Right. Well, I can understand. I mean, I think the idea of having their son go to the dark side is fine. It's just that's what we should have gotten in the movie. The movie should have taken place
How did
during
we get there?
his fall.
Yeah.
Because those things are the more interesting things, and those are the things you want in the film. You want the uninteresting things to not be the screen crawl.
Yeah.
I mean, the screen crawl should be the details, and then the good stuff should be the film. Let's see what the New Republic's like. Not just the planet of the New Republic gets blown up, and we never see it. We should see what they're like. Because this is something that's a continuation of a story. So, you need to bring people there. So let's see what they're like. Let's see Luke's school in action. Let's see the rise of Rey. Let's see the decline of Kylo. Let's see that happen, because that's the interesting stuff.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't have been the first show where the interesting things happened in between the episodes. That was the problem with Kenobi and Boba Fett. The thing is, when you watch the original Star Wars, it's very rare for a Jedi to turn to the dark side, or else, like, why make Jedi at all? But then as it goes on, it seems like at least half of them turn to the dark side. So it kind of makes you wonder, maybe you need to do a better job picking your students and training. It's because they didn't have the imagination and creativity to come up with any other bad guys. And I'll give the cartoon this. They had the Clone Wars, or I think that was it. They had some interesting villains that had nothing to do with Jedi or dark side. They were just some really interesting, scary, bad people. And I thought that was pretty cool.
And in this story, to his credit, Swappers did not make Snoke a Sith, nor a clone. A clone little,
a clone puppet thing.
Yeah, that's the thing, folks. Where you were at the Force Awakens, that's as far as it goes. From there on out, it's changed. So anything that happened in, the other two things in the sequel trilogy,
Yeah.
is not held on to here. Snoke is different, and he's actually a good character. Not a good guy, but he's actually a good character in this, rather than being what was the purpose of him?
Yeah, with a good character with very bad skin, which may be responsible for his bitterness and evil.
Can't get
Well,
some moisturizer.
we're gonna
Yeah.
take we're gonna make a little segue here. That's why I have Maz Kamata's band up. And would you know what instrument Maz Kamata plays in her band?
Is
She
it
happens to
Maz
play.
Kanata's Lonely Hearts Club Band?
She plays cigar box guitar,
That's not a cigar box guitar.
and it's not a woman either. I don't think.
I don't think those are hands either.
Yeah. Well,
Ay, Lawrence Guy. You really should look at your images before
I do.
you...
I
Oh,
do. I just go
man.
with what I have. I mean, otherwise it wouldn't be earworms.
Ah.
So anyway, here we go. This is brought to us by our sponsor, which happens to be Psyche Electroacoustic Opera Company.
Hey, fellow artists, I'm trying
tell
to
you
earn
what,
some
right,
change
I had-
to make my
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
roadside boutique.
I'll let you finish, but yeah, this is something I want folks to hear. Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't know there was audio for this. Sorry, I was just going to say very, very quickly. If I had that much money ready to go right now, I would 100% buy one of these.
Thank you, swappers. I'm glad you like my instruments.
Oh, one of our builder friends actually lives in Wales. I don't know how far you are from Wales.
Liesel, yes.
Yeah, Liesel makes some great cigar
Yes, a
box
friend of
guitars.
mine. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, a lot of my family live in Wales, so it depends whereabouts.
It's the UK. You can only be so far from anybody because it's
It's
New
true.
England. Like,
Yeah.
But no, she makes cigar box guitars, and they're very good ones. I'll at least send you a link to her channel so you can check out her stuff.
Yeah.
Eliza, what kind of pickups do you put in these things?
All piezo, my friend, and I know that's controversial, but I want to hear the resonator. I don't want to hear electromagnetic induction where
that
the box the box itself doesn't contribute to the sound.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that's controversial at all. That's the best way to do it. Otherwise, why have the box at all? Like,
Well, I mean, a lot of builders are guitarists, and you know, the noisiness and the grittiness of the instrument. I understand it's not for everyone, but I
I
don't
guess
know.
they just want an electric guitar that looks like a cigar box
Since
guitar.
I am not a guitarist, I wanted something that wasn't a guitar, and I don't know,
Something that's its own thing.
its own thing. And let me tell you, when you get a piezo amped instrument and plug it into some effects pedals, like the instrument is composing along with you, because you get sounds in there that you would never expect. It surprises you. And if you're not a great guitarist or not a guitarist at all, you get a lot of mileage from something that has so much character that you don't have to do much to make it sound interesting or good. And so
I just need something that will actually play itself.
it's kind of a collaboration between you and the instrument. There's no other way to explain. Colin, go and watch my videos, Colin. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I am admitting that I have absolutely zero musical talent whatsoever. I would need it to do all the work.
I've seen some really interesting, I play an instrument called the cajon, which is
nice,
like this without strings.
Yes.
And I tried a dozen different ways to mic it, and the best I came up with was a blend of using a condenser mic and a piezoelectric sensor on the side. which
Nice.
gives me all the resonance and vibrations and sounds, and you can adjust the blend while you're playing. But it took a long time to make it sound good because it's a very hard thing to pick up. Like I imagine this, like Dobros are notoriously difficult to mic, to sound good. So
I had a viewer who reached out to me to let me know that because one of my first cigar box guitar video was a video about building a piezo preamp for cigar box guitars, and this person had amped up his dobro with a piezo pickup, and he says running it through my preamp made it sound beautiful. So if you have a dobro out there, I got a testimonial somewhere in the comments. You want a piezo to sound good in your dobro? Go and build my my preamp. And not to take credit, the preamp is not my design. It is a circuit that's been floating around online for a very, very long time. I'm actually working on making modifications to it to give it a flatter frequency response because I want to hear truly what my boxes sound like. But someone told me that they built it, they applied it to their dobro, and it sounded great. And so give it a shot if you're looking for to electrify your dobro with a piezo and have it sound good. So
Is there anywhere I can run what you just said through a translator?
yeah.
The only one I understood was Dobro, and she was an actress that was in Crusade.
Oh, would that be like the
Sorry,
Neve,
Dobro.
the Nev 1073 circuit or something like that?
It's a circuit that it's featured on Colin's Lab here on YouTube and on homemadecircuits.com. It's a very old circuit, been floating around. It runs basically what gives it its unique sound are two electrolytic capacitors, but there are no what do you call them? There are no bypass capacitors in it, so it's really, really warm.
Okay.
Because they're just sucking up all of those high frequencies. So I like it. I like the sound of it, but since I really want to hear what my boxes sound like, I'm working to flattening the frequency response. But the current circuit as it is on my channel and my video, my tutorial, you can hear what it sounds like. And so, yeah, really, really warm sound. Just a warning, if you're using it to record, put an 80 hertz cutoff on it because, my gosh, piezos are very, very sensitive. You will get, they can pick up subsonics. And once you correct for the impedance, and but you don't put a high pass filter or build it into that preamp, you're gonna get subsonics. And somebody listening to a recording on a system with a sub is gonna be, oh, it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, but it's a good sounding preamp, very warm. Just that, and I'm also going to correct that issue in my updated circuit. So I will have an updated circuit coming out at some point. I've been putting that project off for a very, very long time, but yeah, gotta get back into that.
Oh, I see he's got a couple like based on 3-volt and 9-volt there. Yeah, these are pretty easy to make.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, very, very easy. The transistor that I'm using, the MPF 104, I think really does need a 9-volt.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, you know what? I think, maybe sometime we'll do an episode of
102,
Earworms
I'm sorry, not 104.
on your builds and stuff like that. But right now I want to play this ad for Kylo, one of your guitars. And then we'll get back to swappers.
Okay, sorry, swappers.
He may have fallen asleep. He's been working hard this weekend.
I'm obsessed with amplifiers, so you can get me going a long time.
Cool.
All right, here we go. And tell me if there's no sound, but I thought
Hey,
you
fellow
was.
artists. I'm trying to earn some change to make my roadside boutique dreams a reality. I will be sourcing materials on the cheap, but I still need some help. And so I present to you Cowboy, my latest 3-string slider. Contact me at psycheoperaco@gmail.com if you're interested in snatching him up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Chaito.
All right. It's got a nice 60 cycle hum to it.
Yeah, that hum is from the preamp. Before I repaired it, there was a continuity issue, and so I repaired it. It does not hum.
Oh,
If you build my preamp and it hums like that, you have a continuity issue somewhere. So I fixed that. It does not hum.
That's very cool, though. It sounded great. It reminds me. Are you familiar with those little they're Chinese snakeskin violins?
Yes, I have
Yeah,
one. Erhu.
Yeah,
I have one.
Erhu, exactly. Yeah, those those are all over the place. Pretty simple to make and very hard to play, but
Yes.
it struck me as one of the more unique instruments that expressed itself through the availability of materials and components at the time. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is what we had. We got a lot of snakes and apparently some sticks. So
There
we're
we
gonna make
go.
one of these. Yeah.
They're gorgeous, gorgeous instruments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love them.
I'm sure our listeners are already on Psyche Opera, but if they're not, the link is in the description. So, yes, it's Psyche Opera and
Poppers. Let's go back to
electroacoustic opera. And we're going to move beyond the Power Twins here. Maz Kamata. That's the band. All right. So anyway, back here, well, those scythe fighters, the Varys Sea Wings, are really cutting up the squadrons there, the Dagger Squadron, especially. But there's another squadron leader that comes to save the day here, who I'll introduce right after Colin.
I was going to say, you saying that actually, that might almost have been a fortuitous slip by AI there, because they could be called scythe fighters because they're so effective. They just cut through the opposition like a scythe, like sliding down wheat.
Oh yeah, and Swappers used that in the description. He called them scythe shaped, but it is funny how his AI synopsis that he gave me to get a head start in the slides actually used that as the name.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that you described, they because they're that effective. They cut through the enemy fighters like a scythe through wheat. So,
AI can be very literal. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why you're lucky you didn't get a radish, because it can also it'll also autocorrect if you're close to a more popular word. It will decide. You know what? It's easier. We'll go ahead and do the radish. Yeah.
Yes, I can imagine.
Well, so as the battle rages on, the gold leader comes to help save the day, or at least according to AI. When I heard the real thing, I was like, no, he radios gold leader, but I don't know if I really needed to make a slide like that after all. But anyway, looks kind of more like I don't know,
a guy riding a giant chicken.
very, very sort of that sort of semi-anime Battle of the Planets.
Yeah,
style.
like Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know those flying machines they had at that
I've
one
not seen
place?
that one, but yeah, I know the style. I don't think that's that style very much.
Well, Naboo starfighters. I don't know. Well, anyway, so at the end of this, we also do get more Admiral Ackbar. At least the stable diffusion was consistent with its Ackbar, pretty much.
Oh
It
gosh.
was the same kind, and of course you get multiples of them. But you know, Anyway, that's at the end of the strategy. Now, is there anything you wanted to say, Swappers, about like the story? Because I didn't include any more excerpts. I found that one dialogue to be really great to show here, but I figured the other things you would also have to hear them completely, because it's an unfolding battle, and just hearing a segment of it, doesn't do it justice. You need to hear the whole battle unfold, so there's a reason why they're doing this right now, and because of this strategy, that's a reason why he says that, and that's the reason why this person says that. I couldn't take it out of context unless I just play the whole thing.
Yeah, well, they've introduced the various fighters into the battle, because Severum was finding the military strategy of the resistance, a little bit too much to handle, because they're used to just, they haven't really come across much opposition in the past like it. So even though pirates can be good pilots and good fighters, they don't necessarily strategize all that well. So the resistance kind of had the upper hand in that respect. So Severum thought, oh, we'll just throw more technology at them and that'll do the trick. So they have the various fighters helping them out in this battle. And because of that, they've started taking down the resistance pilots. And they don't know how they're all flying out of this fight. They're just like, the markers are going off the screen, back at control. They can't figure out what's happening. Because it turns out these various fighters have got certain abilities and features that no one else has. So it's all looking a bit, the balance, the scales are tipping in the other direction. So the resistance are now on the back foot suddenly, but then the Raddus and their other capital ships arrive from hyperspace, and they can then help kind of readdress the balance again by throwing their fighters into the mix. So we've got this ever increasing space battle happening with new ships being introduced every few minutes. They've tried to take out the defenses of the giant Star Destroyer, Free Reign, to kind of even the odds a little bit, but they're slowly repairing them because they've just been taken out by proton bombs and missiles, which can easily, they can be repaired within a certain amount of time. But at the same time, because Severum's the person she is, she's trying to build up an army of her own. She wants to capture all of the resistance hardware. She doesn't want to destroy it. So she doesn't want the resistance destroyed. She kind of wants all their stuff for themselves, and then she'll shove them off on a ship on their own and say, go on your way, well, I'm taking all your stuff. So she can't destroy the fighters, but she can nullify them. So the various fighters have got abilities to do that and knock out the resistance ships. So we've got this kind of very bizarre space battle that we've never really seen before in Star Wars, where normally hitting each other and destroying each other, we've got a situation where they're not trying to destroy each other, but they're trying to get one up on each other. So it can be, there's a new dynamic going on.
Yeah, because
sort of,
go ahead.
I think you saying it put me in mind of that battle at the beginning of the remake of Battlestar Galactica, where all of a sudden all the Vipers just lose power.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of effect should we like to go for.
That's pretty much what's happening in here. As you listen to the story, however long it's going to be, I mean, I'm at like 11 chapters right now. I was probably going to get about 100 out of this. You'll notice a lot of similarities with Battlestar Galactica reboot. That's a big influence on the story. And not that I've copied it in any way, but I've taken a lot of nods from that and thought that is very intelligent, the way they've done that. I can use that in this scenario.
Yeah.
I should go back because I guess I got sidetracked myself. But before at this point also, Severin's forces are feeling challenged. Both sides are feeling like we may lose this. And the Smaz Kamata was basically communicating with Severin via hologram, saying that you don't want to have enemies on both sides, from the the resistance people that support the New Republic that I guess was destroyed now, and the First Order. You don't want them both against you. Now the thing that I have a question for you though is Maz Kamata, like, what is she? And it's mostly Disney's fault, not yours. What does she do that she knows these people too. Well, not that Disney made them up, but I just want to know, what does she do? Period.
She's an She's an optometrist.
Okay.
Can't you tell? Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
Well, in Force Awakens, we weren't really fleshed out with her character at all.
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that we were going to be given some kind of exposition for her in future films, but they obviously couldn't be bothered with that at all. So it is revealed for later on in the story, where she comes from, etc. But it's not that deep, to be honest with you. She's essentially kind of hierarchy in the pirate organization, in this sort of galactic collective.
Oh, so you gave her a reason, basically.
Yeah. I mean, she's like that. I think she's probably about like 1,000 years old or more at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, pretty much. So she's been around, seen a lot of stuff, and been able to increase her status in the pirate nation. And she's always found herself more of a freelancer than wanting to be on any particular side.
Mm-hmm.
And she found her own way for quite a few years until she started gravitating towards groups of her kind. And then the freelancer nation of Arcassus became its own thing on this planet in the Outer Rim called Ord Antahala. And there's this giant flotilla, an artificial, I guess you could call it, flat planet built around another planet, which is like an artificial semi-crescent shaped.
But that hasn't come yet.
No. That's not until you don't really see any of that. Well, you see a little bit of that coming in. I think it's the next chapter,
Okay.
but I can't reveal anything about it because that's given a big chunk away. But you see, then there's more. It refers more to it in chapter 9. But she's from that flotilla,
Okay.
and then she's set up on her own with her own. I guess you could call it like club bar place on Takodana, which was the planet we saw in The Force Awakens.
Okay.
Destroyed by the First Order, which she then was forced to abandon. And of course, the first place she's going to go is, she's going to find out who's out there that's going to be able to support her short term until she can get established again. So the Sovereign of Free Reign was logically the best place. It's like essentially a flying city. So she's taking up asylum on the Sovereign of Free Reign. So that's how she happens to be aboard the ship speaking to Captain Severum.
So, folks, you'll see here that you ask Swapper some questions here. You actually get answers because he's thought about the purposes of these characters. In fact, he's telling us some stuff that hasn't come up yet. So,
yeah, he's thought about it more in one chapter than the entire Disney staff did for the whole sequel trilogy.
Amazing.
And this is where we're kind of being left off is this battle continues. And right now that Ackbar is going to be changing their strategy. So you see, before we even had the stream tonight, it was already part of it. So Swappers has picked up on the Stratogaster. Is that what you call a master strategist?
Strategist.
No, I think you call them a strategist. So the master strategist. The master strategist.
A Stratocaster is a musical instrument that a strategist plays.
No, I didn't say Stratocaster. I said Stratogaster. Which is kind of like the country off the coast of Africa called Stratogascar.
Yeah,
it's more fairy marsupials that leap around. Yeah,
I thought that was one of the lost Istari, the wizards from Lord of the Rings, Stratogaster.
It is. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Stratagast the Brown.
Yes.
Wow, we're getting bridging some different lore here completely, aren't we?
Yeah, he was the smarter brother of Radagast, but unfortunately he got lost.
Also,
one of the blue wizards, yeah.
Oh yeah, the Lost Blues.
The musical wizard, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the best cross-references bit of casting ever. Of course, is a doctor as Radagast the Brown, because as you need to put that underneath a River Song quote. I hate it when there's a wizard who always turns out to be him.
Well, Sylvester McCoy was a doctor.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, you cast an actor as a doctor, as a wizard,
Yeah.
which is why you get the River Song quote. But I was going Swampers. I haven't actually watched any of them. So
Well, you listen.
Yeah. No. I know what I'm saying of the original of the movies themselves. So I'm just wondering, do you go into how on earth just simply taking out one system, 5 planets in one system, of presumably a galaxy-wide republic destroys destroys the republic? Or is
Well,
it just going on in the background?
it's the Republic. The center of the new Republic was the Hosnian system, which was was that system full of those planets that all got taken out at the same time.
Yeah.
And that was done because the higher ups in the First Order just basically wanted to clear out the Hosnian system because of Snoke's plan, which you find out later in this story. So I've given a reason for why they did that and didn't just build another Death Star to take out singular planets, like we all know. But the Republic is kind of still in existence, just not centralized anymore.
Just had its head cut off. I see. Yeah. Okay. Because again, that's another thing I thought. Okay, but this thing is, they've got fast light travel. It's a galaxy wide, or at least a large section of the galaxy wide. You take out one system, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, cheers.
It was essentially a display of power on part of the First Order to kind of like the Empire did in A New Hope, where Tarkin said that'll keep the systems in line. It was basically take out instantly, cut it in the bud right now, and no one's going to oppose us. But unfortunately, kind of as you find out as the story goes on, it backfires on them, so to speak.
Yeah.
What happened in the other? Because I didn't see them, like The Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker. Did they address the Republic at all after that? Like,
no, they didn't have a clue what they were doing. They didn't have a clue. They just didn't talk about it.
All right. So it was like system destroyed, Republic gone.
Yeah.
And then
it was basically a war of who get to run the town. I mean, it was such a idiotic small scale. It was like they had a lot of locations, but it was really, hey, you kill the sheriff, the town is yours, kind of thing. It was absurd.
Yeah, it was that basic and simple. It was a kid in the playground could have thought it up in 5 minutes in a lunch break.
Well, to tell the truth, like with the original trilogy, it was a little bit smaller scale too, but at that point we only had those 3 movies, so there wasn't like a big built up galaxy until the prequels came, and that's when you saw how vast things could be. And by that point it's like, yeah, now you got to treat it as something vast.
Right. And the OT, the idea was that the Death Stars are destroyed, the Empire is gone, so the planets themselves can return to self-rule and then band together to make a new republic. And there were still some leftover Empire military elements, but they would have been no match for the individual planets if they chose to oppose them. So
yeah.
Well, and that's the kind of stuff that you could see unfold if they didn't start the way they did in the sequels. They could have led to it, so all these things would kind of like be informed. You would see the new Republic maybe still in the process of trying to establish itself, and then you have the Empire resisting, well, not the Empire, remnants resisting or fighting, and where no one really has control. But anyway, we're back here with our good friend Finn, who is on board a medical ship called the Anodyne, which is in the convoy, with the Raddus and the Echo of Hope. And
has he filed sexual harassment charges against Rose yet? Has he filed the sexual harassment charges against Rose yet? Because the bitch damn run him over and then kissed him against his will. Like, what do you want for?
Yeah. Well, I don't think that happened yet.
Thankfully, Rose doesn't exist in this reality. So,
Well, this is where
he wrote out Rose Tico.
this is where Finn, not whatever's depicted on screen here, but
That's
Finn,
not Finn.
well,
That's
it was
stable diffusion Finn.
trying to do a back to tank, and it thought Finn. That sounds Irish. So
Yeah.
um,
To be fair, Lucasfilm wrote out Rose Tico as well, so it's not
True.
entirely.
That is true. Yeah.
but anyway,
So-
at this point, Finn is still recovering from being whacked by Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens. So
we should
So
think about it.
that character
Before-
didn't continue onto the last movie?
Which character, sorry?
Rose
well,
Tico?
no, remember. Well, oh man, we're talking about different people altogether. All right, go ahead, Liza.
No. I again, I haven't seen The Last Jedi nor the one that
Yeah,
comes
we've
after
just
that,
seen
so
commentary on
just
Rose
commentary on Rose Tico. So they didn't use. She seemed to be a
Oh,
pretty important character.
J.J.
and-
Abrams didn't use her.
Yeah, I'm
Well-
mixing up the movies there, which is, understandable. I'm old. I was thinking the end of The Last Jedi was the end of Force Awakens. So
Was
oh.
Rose even in The Force Awakens, or wasn't her sister? Wasn't? Didn't
Yeah.
Wasn't, it for the
Oh.
second
No,
film?
Rose was just the Last Jedi. She came in
Yeah.
with her
Yeah, that's
sister,
all, yeah.
and
yeah, and they wrote her out for the Force Awakens essentially.
well, she didn't need to be in there in the first place,
Yeah, I meant for Rise of. I can't even get the name straight. That's how much I care. Like,
Yeah.
Again, I'm
Yeah.
only going what I've heard of any of them. So.
No, Rose, whatever. But anyway,
Right,
Finn,
The Rise
a
of
good
Palpatine.
now Finn, a character that had potential, that was squandered by everything after The Force Awakens. It was like he's not well depicted here, but he's still in the back of the tank, and that's how this chapter concludes. So he has not recovered from his injuries yet, and so we'll see what happens with him under a different authorship going forward. I think in the sequel trilogy for the final two films, he was just pretty much there going around following people.
But yeah, that's all he did. They knew they couldn't write him out because they'd made him such an integral character. So they just made him, well, he's got to be there for some reason. We'll make him a joker. Yeah, just put him in saying jokes every 5 minutes. That'll do. And that was
Yeah.
it.
we'll just make him another useless man in the
Yeah.
trilogy. But I hope. I'm sorry. I hope your version of Finn is not played by John Boyega, because he turned on the fans that really supported him, and
Yeah.
I got no use for that guy anymore.
Yeah, well, I saw Robot Head's thing on it or something. Yeah, because I don't follow all of this. It was something around the time that I was checking out
Yeah.
YouTube, and that's when YouTube was booming. And,
Yeah, I lost track of the drama years ago.
Yeah, after a while, it's just like it kind of goes away, and all I've kept up with was pretty much Platoon and the Brown Alliance, and yeah. But yeah, now that we're looking at this story, it brings it all back to light again.
Yeah, Robot Head is a master at making a scathing point in about 13 minutes. I just he was one of the very first guys I started watching regularly on YouTube, and he still makes me laugh like crazy.
Yeah. I'm always very happy to see a new upload from Robot Head, and I'm always going to enjoy it no matter what.
Yeah, I think he was checking out Brown one time. Liza said she saw him in the chat, but she didn't know him,
No.
of his work at that point. So she's like, "Yeah, I saw somebody named Robot Head in the chat," and I was like, "What?" It's like, oh wow.
Yeah, well, I suggested to Brown a couple of years ago now to get Robot Head on for a stream.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that he'd ever agree to do it, and then suddenly one day Brown just said, "Oh yeah, we've got Robot Head on this week." I was like, "What?" So I was completely starstruck at that point. Same when we got Ruin Johnson on as well. It was just great. So we've had a couple of streams with both of them on, which is just a dream team. Absolutely amazing. So it's great when we get that many people on together.
It's like 5 a.m. for Robot Head, though. It's like,
Yeah.
so
Australia's. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's 5 a.m. Only 15 minutes past drinking time.
Mm.
We're
Well,
Australian.
well, what do you call? Yeah, the UK is like Australia is like about 12 hours ahead of you, right?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
About that, yeah.
Yeah. And so that means for us, they're about 17 hours ahead of us on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great math to try and work out. It's easier to just subtract 7 hours and go ahead a day.
Yeah.
But if I remember right, I think you're geographically opposite China. I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, it's 10 a.m. It's way late enough for Robot Head to join.
Yeah. Yeah. The time wouldn't be a problem for him to join us, but maybe the size of the channel would be a problem, but we'll see in the future. Anyway, folks, I think we're going to be winding up now because we need to get our British gentlemen that have kindly joined us a chance to sleep. So
And
anyway,
I got to go listen
swappers.
to episode 11.
Yes.
The whole thing.
Yeah. Everything was very close to the edge because swappers, it was a loaded week getting things done. But I guess you're a man that has gotten things done for time demands before. So he was
Yep,
able to
indeed.
rise to the challenge. And anything more you want to say before we sign off? Like what's to come or what's not to come or what's...
What I've been thinking for the entire stream really is how much I wish I could tell you about the story, because it would get people a lot more invested, I think. And also, it's always very awkward to try and speak to people about it who are so black pilled because they hate everything Disney have done.
Mm-hmm.
If they hear anything to do with the sequel trilogy, the characters, anything, their immediate reaction is just nope, take it away from me, I don't care. Or they switch off and they just don't even let you talk about it. Because and a lot of people now have sort of retroactively gone back and criticized the Force Awakens very, very harshly for what it is because of the stuff that's come after it. And I think if the sequels after that film had been better, then that movie would have been seen in a lot more of a favorable light. So I always saw the potential with that film and what came after it. So a lot of the mistakes and things that were omitted and things like that from that movie that people had grievances with, I have taken on board and I've corrected and I have dealt with and I've explained. Mm-hmm. And trying to get that across to people, that is incredibly difficult because they just you're saying all these words at them and they're like a wall and they're just no. You're like, you don't understand what I've done. And you can't really tell them without spoiling the story about what's going to happen because I've kind of folded twists and turns into it and surprises and things like that, and things that are really going to take people for a sharp turn, and they're not going to realize, they're not going to see it coming. So they're going to genuinely enjoy it, and it's a shame that these people are kind of just shutting themselves off and going, no, I don't want to know, because they're never going to get to hear it and listen in. And it's also a shame that there's a severe lack of decent Star Wars entertainment out there because Disney are just idiots.
They completely poisoned it.
Yeah, they have. They can poison the well.
Yeah, they're going to come out with 5 things next year, and I suspect they are all going to suck really bad.
People just...
I mean, the thing is, I've rewatched some things and like, and I guess removed from the fact, there's some things I can appreciate a little bit more. Now, when I say some things, I mean, we decide, okay, we're going to give now a couple of years later, we're going to give Ahsoka a chance because we didn't see it before. We just saw brown coverage.
Right.
And then, so I gave it a chance, and it's like, it was something where it's like, I don't feel really offended by this, but there's just some bad stuff going on.
Yeah.
So, and that's like, I don't worry about like Sabine Wren in saying, oh, she's too much of a girl boss. I'm like, no, I think the character, historically was fine. I like the character. And then in this instance of it, it's like, okay, it kind of works, but you shouldn't run her through with a lightsaber and have her be fine like a day later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some things that are just like too much. That's
Or
like,
make her
no.
a
Or Thrawn was a
yeah.
genius. Why is he an idiot in
Yes,
this
that was
where he says one
yes,
thing and then you
horrible.
see him doing something that completely opposes the strategy he just mentioned
Yes.
in the next scene?
yeah, because the
Horrible.
writers don't know, they're not smart either, so they don't know how to write smart. But it wasn't Sabine being the girl. Oh, who's the goggle chick? I was actually thinking the
Oh, Hera.
yeah, Hera. It wasn't that she was sort of girl bossy. It was the fact that she's an idiot. And then Sabine was an idiot. But then you realize when idiot writers don't know how to write anything but people being
Yeah,
idiots.
Yeah.
they didn't. It seems like the actors really were trying to embody things like those characters were in Rebels,
And Rebels,
but I
yeah.
don't. Yeah, I don't think the writing rose to
Yeah.
No.
make those characters the same people.
Well,
But you
I
could
think
see the actors trying to make them the same people, even though they were animated.
Yeah.
I could see Sabine. That seems like Sabine, but she's not acting like Sabine.
Right.
And
was she
another
the
the
one who
actor
did the
was
voice?
trying.
Was that actress? Did
I
she
don't
actually
think
do?
so.
I didn't
No.
look it up. I didn't
No,
look
I
it
don't
up.
I don't think so. I think the only ones where the voice actors were the same as the characters was Thrawn and the guy who played Doctor Who also played the robot in the cartoon and was
Yeah,
the
David
robot in the
Tennant.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and also Ryder Azadi,
Oh yes, Ryder Azadi,
but he was
the
only in episode 1, first season. That
yes,
was it.
the
Yeah, Clancy
governor of
Brown.
Lothal. Yeah, it was only those three that the voice actors were also the live action people.
I mean, I'm sure some of them tried to embody the characters, but other had clearly just given up, like almost from the get go. They're just like, I'm just here for
Yeah.
the paycheck, man. I don't
Yeah,
give a
Yeah.
Ezra was
There was a lot of potential. It's like I
well,
mean,
yeah, those
they
characters
create
were
something
great.
interesting and
Those
then they
characters
poop
were
on it
great, but
later.
it was like,
Yeah.
and then the whole, and then the way they integrated Wales with kind of like these new people, it's like you didn't need to add them. I don't know. It just
This almost seems an extension of something I've noted over the last few years. I've had a discussion a couple of times with people like the rabbi. That I think there's two things going on here. Both a lot of it's down to incompetence. You've got people do not seem to be able to write, but what you've got is you've got they don't seem to be able to write based on original work. But I've come to the conclusion that there's some great ideas out there, just very very badly implemented, and but I've also wondered there's a few things where you get something comes out, and if you take the IP name off it, so you don't associate it with an already existing work, change names, it may actually be quite good. I mean, for example, the few years ago now, there was an abomination. The last Terry Pratchett thing they made was an abomination called The Watch. But I suspect that there was ideas in that if you didn't know Terry Pratchett, as you took it as a generic fantasy procedural thing, it might have had a lot more into it. There might have been a lot more that you could take from it.
I think you give their ideas way too
Well,
much credit. I don't find anything.
Yeah.
It's like this new Predator movie. It wouldn't have been as insulting or bad if you just made it an original IP, but it was still a very terrible story with terrible ideas.
Yeah, a lot of it seems to be two things. It does seem to be they just can't write anyway. But as I said, there's a lot of it. Some. I mean, the Foundation series. I couldn't get beyond about the first 4 episodes of it, because I read the books. But the first episode of Foundation was largely, but they brought some ideas into it that weren't in the books that I thought were quite good ideas. But because they linked it to the books, I couldn't. I just couldn't get into it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it seems here again from what you're saying is that they've got some ideas. They've taken characters and they don't. They've written things up. They've taken those characters in name only.
Well, I think Rebels. Well, I don't. I wouldn't say the Rebels characters were name only. It's just
No.
they
I
just
mean the
didn't work.
remakes of it. I mean the remakes, if you like. So, I mean, I say never having seen the cartoons, I sort of
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think Rebels was under the Disney era.
Oh yeah, that's one I haven't seen.
So it's like their own characters they still couldn't maintain and keep them consistent.
Yeah, sorry, that's
I wonder why. I mean, they've employed the writers from Rebels. Why don't they have those same writers continue?
Well, I mean, there's different. Yeah, as far as writing's concerned, there shouldn't be a major difference between the animation and the live action. Maybe something. I mean, obviously things need to be adapted and everything. But
right.
As far as core writing,
you can tell it wasn't the same people who wrote the stories. I mean the stories from Rebels were interesting.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they made sense.
Yeah, we need to get our gentlemen to bed.
All right.
So anyway, thank you for joining us. I mean, I don't need to keep reiterating it, but I will anyway. Please check out Star Wars Retold, link in the description, or those 3 words on YouTube. And Swappers will check out your stuff when you got chapter 12. Maybe it'll happen before the end of 2025.
Oh, that'd be great if I had the time to get that done.
Maybe it won't. I don't know. We only have a month and a little bit. I have a half a month left, month and 3/4, something like that. Yeah,
it's going to be the next chapter is going to be very similar to this one, so I'm anticipating the same level of work that I have to put in with this.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, and you notice in there in the sound design, it's like Star Wars sounds.
Yeah,
it's like. The gunfire and everything, it's like, it sounds like Star Wars, so it all works for a Star Wars story. All righty. And thank you once again, Mr. Phobos and Colin, Archer Colin. It's great to have you. I think next week we're going to do a Babylon 5 again. If you gentlemen can join us, you're welcome to let me know as we go. Mike will not be here, so Swappers, if you can join us, that would be great. If you can't, I understand you need to catch up on some sleep. But at the same time, I'll put a note out to Anti-Derivative Jill. She might be able to do it if I give her enough warning.
Something real quick in the chat came up. I remember seeing an interview where J.J. Abrams was talking about Han being a scammer, and he finally, ran out of places to run and hide, and it was all coming down on him. Han was never a scammer. He was a smuggler. He was an honest businessman. It showed a fundamental misunderstanding of who and what the character actually was, and that's reflected in pretty much all of what they did. So,
yeah, he even kind of looked down at Lando, because Lando was a little bit more of a scammer. He was a scammer in many ways. I don't know.
They turned into an honest, businessman who was trying to run a city and take care of his people.
Yeah. Although some would say that he was one of those scammers that did follow a set of rules, but All right. I think we're dragging it out. Or I am.
All right.
So good night to just about everybody, including our chief mod there in the chat. Thank you, Scott. I forgot your intro. So Scott has this to say.
Eat my shorts.
All right. Thank you, Scott. So anyway, until next time, folks.
And finally, here are some completely gratuitous pictures of penises to annoy the censors and to hopefully spark some sort of controversy, which it seems the only way these days to get the jaded, video-sated public off their fucking asses and back in the sodding cinema.